Hi, I'm Chester Dulagno, and I'm a spoken word poet, and this is titled The Ledger. We're all the same, seeking shelter from the chaos that snatches us from our beds and drops us into a life we can hardly recognize as our own, a shadow of the dreams we once had but never sown. Lupita played with dolls and dreamed of being a ballerina. 12 years later, she's a single mom, spinning pirouettes with no safety net, scrubbing other people's toilets on a tight rope while her kids rely on her camel knees and Catholic sweat. Pablito played with a fire truck he made from a block of wood and red spray paint. 12 years later, he fights fires of prostitution in the inner city. It wasn't long before Mom lost her job and he dressed himself in her Sunday best so he could look pretty for a paycheck so his sisters wouldn't have to. Pablo eventually died of AIDS. His sisters mourned him as pallbearers at his grave, yet still harbored shame. Their mom was broken and couldn't be fixed. No milk in the fridge or steaks in the freezer, so they rolled the dice to see who turned tricks. Rosie won. Or should I say lost. She put her mom's lipstick on and paid the cost of living in the inner city. But something strange happened, something unexpected made her feel pretty. A man bleeding from his hands and feet collapsed on her doorstep before she could put on a pair of high heels and douse herself with cheap perfume. She thought she could save him. Then she doubted she could save anyone given the irreputable repeated names in her ledger that dragged her down to a burning bed in her sleep. Rosie brought him in and tended his wounds. He smiled and said, "It won't be long. It'll happen soon." She felt peace. Undeniable, unexplainable peace. Not the kind you find in the Middle East when there's a ceasefire, but the kind you find in the midst of the chaos when a Scud missile lands near your bunker. She held it tight near her breast, along with the memory of her brother. Suddenly a knock at the door yanked her out of her skin. She shuddered, then answered. A gust of wind swept past her, straight to the room where her guest lay still, animating him to speak. It won't be long. It'll happen soon. Another knock followed. This time she ran to the door. An older gentleman built like a square block from an element not of our periodic table walked inside, looking at the photographs on the kitchen table. He stopped at the picture of Pablito, a tender child playing with his imaginary fire truck, and smiled. Your brother's last breath on earth was his first in heaven. Mourning is for the dead, not the living. I lift the curse of shame from this family, for love covers a multitude of sins. As he finished speaking, the girl's mother came out of a sarcophagus of self-hatred and spoke in a strange tongue to the man in bed, who rose and kissed her forehead. My spirit, I leave you. Now keep this line of communication open, for nothing in heaven on earth will alter the words I've spoken. And when the enemy brings up the names in your ledger and all your past stuff, tell him I'm perfectly loved and I'm more than enough.